Hi everybody, my name is Dr. Cary Yurkiw. I am a chiropractor here in Kelowna, and today I'm talking about desktop survival. So what can you do if you sit at a desk a lot and you have pain and discomfort from sitting at the desk and you just can't get a comfortable posture? We're going to talk about that today, as well as some things you can do for yourself like stretches and exercises. So I'm going to get right into this right now. So my name is Dr. Cary Yurkiw. I'm a chiropractor and I've been practicing now for 30 years. I have my own clinic here in Kelowna called Tut Street Family Chiropractic. And I was led to chiropractic in my teenage years because I had a lot of knee problems, and my father took me to a chiropractor, and that made a huge difference in my life. It really helped my knees. It gave me encouragement that conditions can be treated and helped. It's not just growing pains. And I think at that point I decided I wanted to become a chiropractor. So here I am 30 years later, and all those years of education, and I've seen thousands of patients in my clinic. And I'm going to share some of the things that you can do for your own health, especially if you sit at a desk a lot, like a lot of my patients do. So today I want to discuss the impact of prolonged sitting on spinal health, common issues like back pain, neck strain, poor posture, and the importance of addressing these issues to improve your health. So what is your desktop and workstation like? For most people, they have a laptop in the middle of their desk. They may have a monitor connected to it, and what they do is they usually look down at their laptop, kind of like this position right here, and then they may kind of look off to one side a lot. Now, this is not a good ergonomic setup, because what we want to do is encourage good posture and symmetry between the two sides. So what I encourage is to get the desk raised up to at least the top of the monitor at eye level. Try and balance the monitors out between left and the right. If you have two monitors, ideally one at the same angle on the left, one at the same angle on the right. If you have three monitors, like I do, one in the middle and two on either side. And then you want a desk that'll shift positions, so the desk will go up to a standing position. You can stand up for 30 minutes. You can go back and sit down. And so you can switch positions frequently. That's very important. The other thing is you want armrests for your chair. So here on this slide, I'm showing you a chair without any armrests. It's very important if you sit at a desk a lot that you do have armrests to rest your arms on and then to support the weight of your shoulders. So really the chair height's important, the monitor position, the desk arrangement, and then you want to make ergonomic adjustments to promote good posture. I actually did a short video for you guys from the other room in the office where we have a better chair for desktop setup as well as a standing desk. And we do encourage patients to get a chair like that, as well as to get a standing desk that you can switch positions frequently. Now, what kind of stretches can you do if you're sitting at your desk a lot? Now, if you're sitting, what's most likely going to be happening is you're going to have some issues with your posture and alignment. And here on this graphic, I'm showing you what your posture should look like. So from right to left, you should be straight down the middle, shoulders level, hips level. From the side, your ear, shoulder, and hip should be in alignment. And when you're sitting, most of the flexibility is in the hips and the low back. You get a 90-degree angle there, and then your legs need to be supported on the chair. If they're not, what's going to happen is you're going to get nerves that are going to get pinched in the spine because of poor posture. So you might get a pinched nerve in the neck causing pain in your arm. You might get a pinched nerve in your low back causing sciatica down your leg. So this is very important because many people have these conditions from sitting too much, as well as your alignment. If your alignment is poor, the muscles on one side are going to shorten, On the other side, they're going to stretch, and you're going to get imbalances in your musculature, which is going to lead to sprain and strain. That'll lead to burning, discomfort, tiredness, fatigue, and that's not good for a long day if you're sitting for hours at your desk. The other thing that happens when you sit a lot is the discs, which are these structures right here, like jelly donuts. They get squished or compressed, and they will lose some of their height, and that can pinch the nerve in between the bones. And these are the nerves I just showed you. So really what we want to do is make sure that you're changing positions frequently, you're drinking enough water, rehydrating these discs, and we'll talk about that at this webinar as well. So these are routine stretches that I want to show you. So one of the stretches is called the seated spinal twist and standing forward bend. These are two of the stretches that I like to show my patients, ones that I recommend. And I'm just going to show that to you right now, as well as this graphic of a proper setup. So here's the forward bend. You can stand up every hour or two and do this. It takes 5 or 10 minutes. Where you stand up, you just bend at the waist, head goes down to the floor, and you just feel that stretch in the low back and in the hamstrings right here. That's very important because it increases your flexibility. It'll lead to more resiliency when you go to sit at your desk. And then the other one that I wanted to show you is this seated twist right here. So you can sit on the floor. I did a video today sitting on my table here in the clinic. Just cross one leg over the other and then turn the opposite way. Use your elbow to get the maximum twist. So the elbow braces against the knee, and you're basically rotating to get as much twist as you can in the low back. Now, you don't want to bounce and you don't want to force it, but you should feel a stretch, and you should gently get more and more into that stretch as time goes on. And if you do this 2 or 3 times a day, this is going to help you to get more flexible over time. So I would do both sides, holding this for 5 to 10 seconds. You can do 2 to 3 repetitions every couple hours during your workday. This would be great. And also, one of the stretches that I like to talk about is the cat and cow. Now, the cat and cow is a little different, and I'm going to show you an example of that right now too. So for the cat and cow, you want to start on all fours like this, and just kind of get yourself set with your arms underneath your shoulders and your knees bent at a 90-degree angle. You might want to put a cushion on the floor if you have sore knees. And then what you want to do is go into this position right here, which is called the cow pose. You look up at the ceiling, if you can, and let your back sag down towards the floor. This stretches the muscles on the front part of the spine, called the flexor muscles, and it stretches the ligaments on the front part of the spine as well. Excellent for this position, holding that for about 3 to 5 seconds. And then you want to switch, exhale, and go into this cat position, which is the opposite. Your head goes down, back rounds, and really what you want to do is stretch the extensor muscles and the ligaments on the back part of the spine. You can hold this for 3 to 5 seconds, and I would switch, go back and forth about 8 to 10 times. You can do this every couple hours during your workday. It'll make a big difference for you just to stay flexible, keeping the fluid moving between the joints, and just allowing you to be a little bit more resilient throughout your workday. Now, other things you can do throughout the day is taking some breaks, like standing instead of sitting. And a good standing desk, $200-300, but you know, over the time that you're going to use it, it's a small investment to make to help your back. So getting a standing desk, if you come to the clinic, you can ask us which one we purchased. It's excellent. And we can even get one in for you that is similar to that. You can walk around. I would go for a walk, you know, just kind of limber up a little bit. Get your knees moving, your legs moving, get your arms and torso moving. You can just walk to the bathroom and walk back to your desk, go for a walk, take a break for 10 or 15 minutes to get some water. These are very good things to do if you work with other people. And you can do these mini exercises that I showed you today that are just going to help to keep you flexible and stretched out in between the bones in the spine. Now, some lifestyle tips for long-term health. Well, what are some other things you can do if you're sitting a lot? Nutrition is very important, and the bones are made out of calcium, so getting enough calcium. The discs are made out of this connective tissue, and that's collagen or protein with water. So you need enough collagen, you need enough protein, and I would say every 4 to 5 hours you should be eating some protein just to help keep your body rebuilding itself, to adapt to the stresses that it's been put under, as well as drinking enough water. And the good rule of thumb is your urine should be straw colored, not too concentrated, not too yellow. There's not a lot of science behind 8 to 10 glasses of water a day, although that's a rule of thumb. I would just go by, are you thirsty? Are you drinking water throughout the day? And the color of your urine should be straw colored. Also, you want to get some regular exercise. So, going out on your lunch break for a walk, excellent thing to do. You might want to do some stretches like yoga on your lunch break. You might have a gym close by that you can go to and just walk on the treadmill. These are all good ideas just to keep you limber throughout the day. And you can make some other lifestyle changes to support long-term health as well. And those involve getting enough rest, having a proper mattress at home, things like that can really help with your posture as well. Now, some tips on creating a balanced work environment. What are some things you can do? One of the things you can do for a balanced work environment is stress management. And if you're feeling tense and stressed at work, that can build up in the body. You can feel tight in your muscles. You can release a lot of cortisol, which is a stress hormone in the body, which starts to affect the way that other parts of the body work. Your blood pressure can go up. You can produce some more inflammation. You don't want to do those things. So combating stress with addressing the causes, number one. And number two, doing some exercises like deep breathing exercises, meditation, all very good ways of combating stress. So, and also the food you're eating. If you're drinking too much coffee, too much caffeine can raise our cortisol levels and get us feeling stressed and anxious. So, you want to be careful of stimulants like caffeine, too much tea, and some of those energy drinks, which can really raise up your caffeine levels and sugar levels, causing the cortisol levels to spike and your insulin levels too. There's more and more research coming out about insulin, and if there's too much insulin released at one time because of a sugar spike, that can affect our brain, how our brain functions, and how our body functions as well. Now, if you have any questions, I will answer those now. If you're on Instagram, I'm just going to peek over my monitor because you're right over here. I'm going to just see if there's any questions in the comments there. If you don't want to ask a question right now, you want to ask it later, you can comment or DM me. I'd be happy to answer that. If you're here on YouTube, I'm just going to take a look at my YouTube feed to see if there's any questions. So feel free to type in the chat. So just type in the chat here, any questions? All right, so I'm just going to double check. If there's no questions, then I'm going to move on to the next slide. Today, what we talked about is the ergonomics of your desktop. We talked about things you can do like stretching for yourself. We also talked about proper nutrition and stress management, all very important aspects of having a successful workday, going from a seated to a standing position, and the type of chair you have, all very important. Now, I want to thank you for attending today's webinar, and I want to encourage you to see a chiropractor if you haven't done that already, especially if you have postural concerns, back pain, neck pain. Here in Kelowna, we are accepting new patients. You don't need a doctor referral. We do bill directly to insurance, including ICBC. So very convenient for people living in Kelowna. If you're interested in this topic, you have more questions like how do I do these stretches? Are there other stretches? What specific nutritional tips do you have? If you want to discuss your specific personal concerns, I'm going to host a masterclass on Thursday at this time. So in the masterclass, you're going to have a chance to participate because it's going to be on Zoom. You'll be able to chime in and ask your questions, and it's going to be much more interactive and personal. In addition to that, I'm going to offer you a 15-minute consultation at the end of the masterclass. Not at that time, but to be scheduled at a different time so that you can ask your questions one-on-one if you don't want to ask them in the group. To get a ticket for the masterclass, it's on sale on Eventbrite right now. I'll put a link in the chat here on YouTube. And if you're on Instagram, just go to the link in the bio and go to Eventbrite webinars. You're going to see that. And then it'll be the next one, which will be the masterclass on this same topic. Again, it's on Thursday. You have about 24 hours to buy a ticket now before ticket sales end tomorrow at 10 p.m. Also, I'm going to pass on my contact info. So if you want the contact info for our clinic, I'll put that in the links as well. But you can go to our website, tutstreetfamilychiropractic.com, and you can email us at info@tutstreetfamilychiropractic.com, and our phone number, you can call or message us at 250-486-0062. If there's any topics that you guys are interested in going forward, we do have about 2 months worth of webinars scheduled right now on Eventbrite. But if there is a topic that we haven't covered and you're interested in it, please let me know. Drop a comment or a DM to me. I'd be happy to consider that for the schedule that we'll be setting up in August for our webinars. I hope you guys learn